Welcome to AETCM, the Emergency Medicine channel. Today in our series of videos on mechanical ventilation basics, we will be discussing about pressure support. So pressure support, the parameter of pressure support comes into play basically in spontaneous ventilation or in a pressure support ventilation where mostly the patient is ready for a weaning. So pressure support, it augments the patient's breathing and by overcoming the airway resistance. So pressure support is the difference of the peak inspiratory pressure and plateau pressure, and it is mostly seen in spontaneous weaning or pressure support ventilation. So pressure support we set so that the patient will be getting adequate tidal volume without much of a tachypnea or a respiratory distress. So basically we will be adjusting the pressure support so that the patient will be attaining a tidal volume of around like 8 to 10 ml per kg, and the patient will be having a rate of around spontaneous rate of around 20 per minute, so that we can titrate the pressure support to this target. And if the patient is having no distress and getting adequate tidal volume with a pressure support of around like 5 to 8, the patient is ready for a weaning. So this is the basic parameter of pressure support. So it is a pressure that the ventilator provides, which helps in augmenting the patient's spontaneous breath. So that like in a spontaneously breathing patient on a ventilator, there are certain resistances like the ET tube, the ventilator circuit and all, which will add on to the resistance which the patient will have to overcome. So this pressure support will help the patient in overcoming the resistance caused by these things. So it will be augmenting the patient's spontaneous breath. The pressure support will help the patient in getting adequate tidal volume. It will reduce the work of breathing, improve the oxygenation, and will make the patient able to wean off the ventilator. So basically the pressure support is used in a spontaneously ventilated patient, like patient on spontaneous ventilation and not on a controlled mode of ventilation, and it is titrated so that if the patient is reaching a pressure support of around 5 to 8 and the patient is not having tachypnea and attaining adequate tidal volume, the patient can go on for a weaning from the ventilator. So this is the basic idea of pressure support. So I hope you have got an idea on pressure support. Thank you for listening, and thank you.